Hello you plonkers and welcome back today to another video on the Drewzy channel. I'm back in my living room talking to myself again, but today we are talking about the top 5 coaches under pressure in the AFL in 2021. Sometimes coaches become under pressure when their teams aren't performing. Sometimes they sleep with someone else's wife. Sometimes they inject their team with drugs. Pressure can come from all angles. When a team's on-field performance begins to, start getting a bit stinky, that's when the coach becomes under a lot of pressure. Whether it's the players not actually performing or whether it's the coach himself, sometimes we don't know. Sometimes the coach gets unfairly sacked or is unfairly under pressure. But regardless, we'll go through all these 5 coaches and we'll see why they're under pressure in this 2021 season. If you like the video, drop a like, drop a sub, go follow my Instagram. That's a new one, _Drewzy. Let's get into the video. At 5th, I've gone with Luke Babbage, obviously the coach of the Western Bulldogs. Now, I reckon he would be sacked if he didn't win a flag in 2016. That's one way you can keep your job, is by winning a flag, even though it was 5 years ago now. But the Dogs haven't won a final, I believe, since the grand final. They missed finals 3 years in a row after winning the grand final. They made finals the last 2 years, first round exits, although last year was a bit unlucky to St Kilda. But regardless, they haven't won finals and they have one of the most talented lists in the competition. Big losses to Collingwood, Carlton and St Kilda in the 2020 season, and then obviously getting eliminated by St Kilda. It just feels like the Bulldogs can't reach their potential for some reason. They show glimpses of it. I remember they beat the Eagles this year, so the talent is there, but they just can't always put it together. Does that lie on Luke Babbage? Potentially. They've added Treloar in the #1 draft pick, Jamara Ugelhagen in the off-season. If this talent can't be utilised to full effect, I'm saying Luke Babbage is on the chopping block. At 4, I've gone with Leon Cameron, the GWS Giants coach. There was talk that he could be sacked at the end of last season, but he's been given a new contract. Obviously, the board seen something that they like in him. Been to the finals a good bloody 4 or 5 years in a row before last season where they dropped off. But that's it. They've dropped off. Why have they dropped off? They've got all the talent at their disposal that they need. They bloody throw talent out the door left, right and centre. And this offseason, they threw out their best player, in my opinion, Jeremy Cameron. Now, that is going to make it hard to get results for the Giants. So they finally make a grand final in 2019 after being gifted all these great players on a platter. Here you go, GWS. You're the AFL's project. Just go and win a premiership. And they have done well, but they haven't won a flag. In 2019, they didn't show up to the grand final. I can't remember if they actually showed up or not. I think the team bus bloody broke down outside the MCG. But in 2020, they didn't show up to the finals at all. How the fuck do they not make finals? And it seems like this off-season, by losing Jeremy Cameron, they're only taking a backward step. I think the GWS premiership window is gone. I don't see them winning a premiership in the foreseeable future. Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments below, but I think Leon Cameron could have his job on the line here. At 3, and rather controversially, I've gone with Chris Scott. Obviously, controversial. He's just been in a grand final. Geelong, again, another very talented list, with most players on their list in their primes at the moment. Patrick Dangerfield, a one-in-a-generation player. Joel Selwood, one of the best captains, if not the best captain in the competition. Tom Hawkins, Coleman medalist. Just added Jeremy Cameron, so that'll add more pressure to Mr. Scott. Isaac Smith and Sean Higgins as well. They've got their cock and balls out on the table, said, we're all in. We are going for a flag. And anything other than a flag in this window would be a massive failure for Geelong. The amount of talent they have, they can't let this slip. They made the grand final last year, as I said, but before that, they hadn't won a prelim since 2011. If they choke this season and don't make or win the grand final in the next few years, this whole Dangerfield era at Geelong must be considered a failure. So Chris Scott, the pressure's on you. Win a flag or you're out. That's it. At number 2, a man that's always in the limelight, we've got Nathan Buckley off the Collingwood Football Club. The thing here is that Buckley is out of contract at the end of this season. Now, that has huge ramifications because if he doesn't perform this year, it'll be easy just to get rid of him. No payouts, no worries. I'd like Collingwood to stick with Buckley. He's obviously a club hero and he's taken over from Mick Malthouse. The pressure's always been there, but he's shown glimpses of what he can do as a coach, taking them to a grand final in 2018, narrowly missing out on a flag. So they've been in the finals for the last 3 or 4 years, I believe, but their ladder position has dropped each and every year. Now consider the players that they've lost this year. They've lost Jaden Stevenson, Adam Treloar, Tom Phillips, 3 best 22 players. How are they going to improve with no players coming in? They're going to have to dig within and perform for Nathan Buckley. Otherwise, his job could be hanging in the balance at the end of this season. Who has the most pressure on their shoulders in the AFL this season? I've gone with Simon Goodwin of the Melbourne Football Club. How much longer can Melbourne dick about not making the top 8? They finished right near the bottom in 2019, 2020, narrowly missed out on finals, and you can see what they're trying to do. They have a formula that they're trying to play by, but for some reason last season it didn't click. 5 years Simon Goodwin has been at Melbourne now, and they made a prelim, but I think that was a bit of a reach. I think that was Melbourne playing out of their skin for a few games that season, but it's only built the pressure up because it showed a glimpse of what Melbourne are capable of. They needed a key forward, they brought in a key forward, Ben Brown. Their midfield, one of the best in the competition, with Gawn tapping it down to Petrarca, Clayton Oliver, Gussie Brayshaw, Jack Viney. The list goes on. They're stacked. And again, a very solid defence. Christian Salem on the halfback with Jake Lever, Stephen May, Ed Langdon on the wing. This team is stacked, and anything but a top 8 finish in 2021, I think Goodwin will be sacked. So that's going to finish the video. I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you agreed or disagreed with any of these, let me know. Again, the coaches are under a lot of pressure to perform. Rightly or wrongly, their jobs are always on the line. They're always under pressure. I know the fans will be getting behind their coaches, but you know, there's money to be made in football, and if your team isn't delivering on the field, that money slips away. The coaches need to perform, and that's how it is. These 5 coaches will need to have a big 2021, and so will I, because I want to become YouTube famous. So make sure you subscribe, you drop a like, and yeah, follow me on Instagram, as I said, @_Drewzy. Link in the description to that and whatnot. Check out my other videos if you haven't already. Drop a comment, say hello, get in there. I'll be replying, but I need to stop waffling. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, you plonkers.
Right, if you're watching on YouTube, man, we got all the proven MCs on the microphone right about now. Listen, party, kick off and say, listen, ready for the TT, not taking the rock in every time. Check it.